Yeah, we were.
I did think about just running away and starting a new life.
How's therapy going, David?
I've apparently said some very harrowing things in the last 72 hours. It's fine, guys. Don't worry about it.
We're
Who
worried
cares?
about it.
Who cares?
Speaking of which, my wife and my therapist is leaving
My wife.
Talkspace, so we have to find a new one.
What? Wait, what?
Our therapist is working too much on Talkspace, and so she is leaving that and doing just her regular practice.
Wow.
And we were like, "Can we come?" And she was like, "Nah."
Nah, girl.
So I'm
Nah, girl, you can't come.
sad.
Oh, that sucks.
I mean, it's fine.
I
We'll
mean,
find
but yeah,
someone.
but finding a new therapist is never that's not something I excited about looking forward to.
No.
Ugh. I tried to avoid burping right into the mic, and then I straight up did it.
That's the dream, honestly.
They have seating behind the seating seating behind the orchestra pit. I love that I'm a co-host of this show.
I do.
They have seating behind the orchestra pit, and I think it's called not the pit, the oh my god, it's fully behind the stage.
The
So you're
stage.
looking,
Yeah.
yeah. Later seating, which is what they call it there. I think it must have a different name other places, if that exists at all in other places. But it's one
It
of the first
definitely
times I've ever
does.
seen it.
It's very common in like European houses.
Yes, yeah, and I imagine that's French. I didn't look it up, but I imagine the
Yeah.
pronunciation and later,
La terre. Oui.
later.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ouais, since it sounds French.
yeah. Do you do that thing too where you say it in different accents to try and maybe determine what
Later.
language it is?
Later.
La terre.
Later.
Yeah.
Later.
La
It sounds
terre.
French.
Later.
Later? No, it's not Cajun.
Later. Let's see, that would be a Cajun for me. Later. Mon
Uh,
cher.
the later. Nope.
Later.
I can't do German. German is so hard for me.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Tessa,
yeah,
can you do
yeah.
German?
Reinheitsgebot.
I have to
Later.
say, ich habe keine Ahnung to get sort of into it a little bit.
Yeah,
But it's
you
hard.
have it. Yeah, you
I
have
don't
it. Though.
know.
I think you
I
have
go
it.
Swedish.
It's
No,
very
no,
hard. Yeah.
no, that is the German. It is subtle. Like
Germanic.
Yeah.
So
when they actually speak the English, the native Germans, it's very subtle. It's just like it's this cool thing that's happening. They are trying to be anti-Hitler, which I
Cameron's is
love.
good. Cameron's is good.
is really good.
Mine gets a little too, and I know we were just talking about this. Mine gets a little too fruity. It's like those, like the
Russian?
cartoon Nazis. Like,
Uh-huh.
oh
And
no,
Beer Fest.
oh,
Grandpapa!
don't worry about them. Oh no, oh no, we are naked in the pool again.
I want to make sausage.
Who wants
I
to
want
help
to-
me make sausages? Yeah.
I want to know how the sausage is made. It's made in my lederhosen.
I mean, oh.
Oh,
Oh. I
was
mean,
that
that's
kind of
still
sausage?
excellent. It's just, you're right. It is very fruity.
Yeah.
You
There's
put
no,
the fruit in the
yeah.
sausage, yeah.
There's no calm, cool. I want to do like a German villain. I want to do cool, evil German Bond villain, but it comes out gay Hitler from the producers.
Or the entire family from Beer Fest.
Yeah. Oh, Beer Fest. What a throwback. Oh my god.
I don't know if
It
I've
holds
seen
up
that
pretty
film.
well,
I'm sorry
actually.
about that.
You've never seen Beer
I-
Fest?
I don't think I have.
I was 21 years old, and after I watched it, I turned to my sister and I said, "We've been letting our people down because we're very
You're
German."
drinking enough?
No. Nope, wasn't drinking enough. So I fixed that immediately. Almost died. It was great.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh
You had a-
no.
you had a-
That's no good.
You had a crazy 21.
Quick, give me. Oh, I did. Have I not talked about my 21st birthday on here?
Oh,
I
I think
don't-
some bad things happened to you, right?
No, I mean it was
You
just
did
it was
bad
just
things.
poor luck and timing.
You did
so-
bad things. Oh no.
No,
Oh no, he did some bad things.
I did
I
some
also
bad
don't
things.
know why they're coy. Like, oh no.
Oh,
That's
no.
The only word. That's the only words I say as this weird German character.
no.
I honestly think that they should be our advertising voices.
Yeah.
Are you in need of a gift? Oh yeah. Anyway, so my 21st birthday, I had spent the week in Missoula, which I was in my super sophomore year at CWC.
Mhm.
Was
not a real place.
it is
Keep
a real
going.
place.
Yep, keep going.
It puts the soul in Montana. Anyway, um so I had spent the week there. I saw a production of The Pillow Man, which I don't know if
Oh,
y'all
Martin
have ever seen that
McDonough.
play, but
Heck yeah, what a great
It's-
play.
Yeah,
I mean,
great play,
it
but
fucked me up.
yeah, not a great way to kick off a birthday weekend.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
shoot,
the
I
thing
forgot
was,
about
is
the
like I
birthday
had
part.
spent the entire week. It was wonderful. I had a friend who had already turned 21, so we bought some Guinnesses and had those. But like, I was not 21 in Missoula. I turned 20. It
Oh.
was spring break also. I turned 20 that Monday.
Mhm.
So the Monday after spring break, I turned 21.
Oh, the
And
Monday you went back to school?
Yep.
Aw.
Yep. And so I was like, you know what? I had some friends come over, all of whom were younger than me. So I did break some laws. It's fine. The statute of limitations
you
was
did.
over. But I tried all of the liquor stores because it was Monday, had closed at like 8, and we didn't get out of rehearsal until 10. And so we ended up going to a place called the Hilltop, which is a drive-through semicircle bar / liquor store in my hometown. It has like 4 seats. It's an experience. And they were like, well, we don't normally sell bottles on Mondays, but you can have this. And all they had was a bottle of raspberry Smirnoff.
Oh wow.
So that was my first alcohol.
That was your
purchase
first
ever.
that was your first legal alcohol
Oh,
purchase.
no.
Was a bottle of raspberry Smirnoff because that was
Woof.
all that was available. And they were like, you know what
Wow.
never sells? Raspberry Smirnoff. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Go to town. Go to town, sweet, innocent 20, 21-year-old. Go to town.
Wow.
And it makes me sad because like in Missoula, there is a hard and very true tradition of turning 21 that involves a very specific bar crawl, including a
Oh.
place called Faruqi's, which is kind of a divey sports bar. And they give you on the house a flaming Lamborghini, which is a martini-sized shot that they light on fire, and you have to drink it before the straw melts.
That's
Before
insane.
the
the
straw,
the plastic
Before the straw
the
melts.
melts.
plastic straw that you
Plastic
will get
straw. Yep.
cancer from.
Yep.
It's
Absolutely.
been lit on fire
It's been
for
lit on
easier
fire?
access to
In-
your cells.
In an enclosed space surrounded by
Yep.
alcohol.
Yep. Absolutely.
So that's
A
Missoula.
lot of 21-year-olds die at Faruqi's.
And actually,
Those
no one
bars
has.
burned down 5 times.
no one has even like burned their faces. That's why they do the straw, so that you don't like
Get your
do
face
this.
too close. You don't go and then catch your hair and then... I
But
thought
they
you were
will
gonna
also
explain
do
that's
it
where
on
your
your
hair went.
22nd birthday for surviving your 21st year, which I think
Very
is
nice.
admirable.
That's very nice.
Wow, that's generous of them. What would they do it for a 40-year-old?
Maybe.
Like in a few years,
Yeah,
maybe
for
I
like
go
an
there?
anniversary.
Maybe. I mean, if you said you were from New York, they probably would. And that you'd heard about them and this tradition, they'd be like, yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, that's when I'm gonna go.
There's that thing of you want to instead of celebrating your subsequent birthday, like going 21, 22, 23, you just are now celebrating the anniversary of your 21st or something. Do you have an age that you would do that? I wouldn't do my 21st. I think that's
Oh
not an
no.
admirable year for me. I would probably do like 25,
Yeah, I would do 25.
you know?
But you would repeat that year and be like, this is the
Yeah.
anniversary of my
This is
25th.
so this year is the 10th anniversary of my 25th birthday.
My 11th.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gosh, no.
Tessa hates
No,
it. Moving
not
on.
a good not a good 25, or just you hate the idea. You hate the whole thing
I
I've
don't
pitched.
know. Yeah, because I keep thinking about my life at different years, and I'm like, oh no, I wouldn't want to go back there.
Right. What's your number one year from your 20s? Can you guys think of like you're like if you were to rank your 20s?
Oh no.
I mean, 25 was a great year for me. I got married. I moved to New
Oh
York.
my god.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I got my master's degree. So like,
Shit.
Oh, it's a charmed year.
but
Dang,
also
triple threat.
it was really fucking difficult.
Right. Right.
Sure.
So like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a lot of
26 was great
transition.
because I met all of you.
Aw.
And
And
but
that's
also
gotten worse every year. Certainly.
no, it's gotten better. But living in New York
Dang.
is hard. And so like I
Mhm.
look back
Yeah.
on my New York years with nothing but fondness, but it was fucking difficult.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially in our 20s, especially living alone. Because like if we'd have had roommates, it would have been fine. We'd have been fine. But
But it was
Mhm.
just the two of you.
yeah.
Oof.
Romantic though.
Oh, it was so much fucking
Yeah. Makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking
Cameron,
like,
as a person who's almost permanently lived with roommates, you don't have to. There could still be a lot of fuck. That
Oh, here
roommates
we
actually
go.
doesn't change the situation.
we're learning all kinds of stuff.
Ooh, the tea is coming.
Give us
Yeah,
the tea.
That was an
that
unintentional
doesn't change
pun.
anything. Yeah.
Kind of gross. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah. This is a funny story now, but it was not awkward. It wasn't bad or anything, but like my roommate, who is now uh 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 this is not about their current partner, whom
Yeah,
they're
let's clear that up right now, because when they
whom
listen
they are
to
about
this,
to get married. They're very, they're awesome, and I live with them now. But before that, I was living with my roommate, and he brought home a girl one night, and she decided to be the loudest person on earth, to the point where there was three of us in that apartment, and his room was kind of away from our other two rooms, and my other roommate like came out of his room, and I opened my door at the same time, and we were like, and he just has this look on his face, and he just goes, do you have earplugs? And I was like, yes. And it was just very funny. We look back at it now and we laugh, but it was a very funny conversation the next day, where the roommate in question saw me, like I was like sitting at the breakfast table, and he was like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, don't worry, I only heard half of it. Because I put earplugs soon enough, so don't worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about people who are very enthusiastic
Mhm.
with their vocal performances. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
The real question is, have either of you ever had to do that on stage or during a performance of some kind?
Do
Yes.
fake sex?
No, make really loud orgasm noises.
Oh.
I've had to do both fake sex and
I've only
makeup.
had to do fake sex. I haven't had to do loud orgasm noises, I don't think, unless it was in a sketch and we were like backstage making the sounds for,
That doesn't count.
For comedy.
I've never seriously had to make big orgasm sounds.
Yeah. You
Have
never had to
you?
dramatically.
No, I have not. You have to remember that when I was in college, I was not considered a romantic lead, so I never was given the opportunity.
Rude.
I agree.
Yeah. Tessa would have cast you.
I know
I
she would have, and I
absolutely
appreciate
would.
Yeah. Tessa would have made you do all of the fake sex.
that.
I played I got really super lucky. The last show that I did before I left Pittsburgh was Maul Flanders, and I got to play Maul.
Oh,
And
fun.
it's like to this day probably one of the best like acting experiences ever. It was so fun. And there was like a the rest of the cast played multiple roles, and this one guy who I had a massive crush on, I got to have fake sex with him like 10 times. Like so much with this one dude. I had to like do like a peck on the lips with this guy that I was like, get out of my face. But the guy who, wow, what a crush I had on him. What was his name?
I don't know. What's he doing now?
Yeah.
Well, I think he was taking photos for like a reality show that was set in the Pittsburgh area. I don't know. He was dumb, but what a cute face. Like a little, he was Swiss. He was of Swiss heritage. He wasn't like from Switzerland, but you know what I mean.
And this was the guy who you had to fake sex with? Or...
Yeah, and we did all different positions for all these different characters he was playing that Maul Flanders had sex with. So like the first dude that ever she had sex with, he played, which was like kind of weird because it was like her like she was the ward of this family basically, and he was like the essentially older brother kind of guy.
Sure. Yeah.
But they kind of treated her half like a servant. So
yeah.
Anyway,
flowers in the attic situation.
Sure. I'm going to learn what that means. And then and then he was like also a guy in this when she was in jail. He was this guy that she was just like, I just got to get pregnant to get out of jail. And then he was some other character. He was some other he was like her great love as well, who if you ever watch the miniseries, which I highly recommend, it's got that beautiful lady from Doctor Who and ER with the curly hair.
Yeah,
you know.
I know who you're talking about.
Anyway, she's incredible, and Daniel Craig is in it, and he plays her like great love.
Alex Kingston.
Alex Kingston, yes.
Oh yes. Okay, got it.
Anyway, enough of that. I'll probably never have fake sex on stage again.
Incorrect.
I'm too old now.
No, you're not.
Look at me. I'm so far from my 20s. I can't even pick a favorite year.
You have to have old person sex.
Oh, even
now.
Better. I'll do that.
Wait. Oh no.
It's so much more fun for men. I think for women, it's always like, hurry up.
You have to be.
Yeah, you have to do.
I'll write
oh my
it so
god,
it's not.
I can't think of her name. You have to do the Swedish ambassador from Veep, Sally Phillips's character
when she's I haven't
Minna. I think it's Minna. She is like Julia. It's one of my favorite outtakes as well. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is like on the lower bunk bed. And Sally Phillips and this guy are having sex on the upper bunk, but they're trying to do weird stuff. Not weird, but like they're trying to do like kinkier stuff than just vanilla sex, which is what you should be doing on the top bunk. Don't try and do other weird things. But he's like, do you want me to choke you? She's like, yeah, sure, yeah, go. I don't like it. I don't like it. and then her sex noise is just And in the outtakes, Julia Louis-Dreyfus is just dying, and she's like, how am I supposed to do this? How do I get through this?
Exceptional content.
Exceptional. Some good tent slinging.
Mm-hmm. David, I'm sure you've had to do on-stage sex.
I have, yes, yeah.
Tell us all about it.
We had to do Shakespeare sex is very funny because you always have to. I don't know. It just feels like there's this extra layer of absurdity to it.
Yes.
It was like in one moment like we're gonna pretend to be like fucking, and then when we go back out there, it's iambic pentameter. I just find that so funny to me.
It is
I don't know
funny.
why.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot.
Oh,
I didn't portray sex on stage, but I portrayed failed sex on stage.
ooh.
What happened?
We were in the 24-hour plays, and this one was called 3 a.m. And my dear friend Sterling, whom is very pretty and one of the most wonderful people on the planet, I was putting my clothes back on, and his first line was, "I'm so sorry. I could have sworn I was gay."
That's a good
My first
line.
line is, "It's fine."
Oh,
Oh
it's fine
no,
is not
that's
a good thing to
sad.
say during it. But I'm sorry, I thought I was gay. Is very
No, I know it was a great little play. I loved
that's
it. I
great.
should look those back up again. I'd
Um,
forgotten about that.
the worst, I mean, it's all pretty straightforward. I think like it's interesting, like thinking back now on the context of those things in the age of like we are now like uh theater now has like intimacy coordinators and everything like that. So it's
Yeah.
like it's interesting to go back and think like, yeah, it was actually just me and this girl like like barricaded ourselves in the green room and we're like, yeah, I guess like we'll pretend we're doing this, and yeah, you oh, and I'll I don't know, it's just funny that like, yeah, maybe we should have been it should have been a bit more of a formal process.
It should have.
um uh the not the worst story, but like the memory I always have about like any sort of sex on stage that I had to act in was not an actual sex act. It was post sex act as well. I'm putting my clothes back on and I turn towards the audience and see them. My character got to be like fourth wall breaking, so I was very aware of the audience.
Oh.
And I had to so I'm shirtless, I'm putting my pants back on, and I turn around and see the audience and I spit a condom out of my mouth.
That's good shtick.
That
It's
is
very good.
funny.
It was very good because I basically, they were like, you have to make it like you're making the sound, oh, like like, oh, I didn't see you there, right? But like but then have a condom fall out of your mouth. Huh. And there was, oh, and there was one rehearsal that we did where
Oh no.
the director was like, I think the condom has to be has to be filled, has to not
Oh
it has to be
no.
used, like it has to give a strong suggestion that it's used. And I was like, oh god, like it's already bad enough I have this condom in my mouth, which is like, which to all the girls and gays who have to like do any mouth stuff with a condom
They
on,
don't taste good.
yeah, no more, so much power to you, you are all queens in my book.
Mhm.
um uh
Truly.
yeah, I would put this condom in my mouth and I'd be like, oh, this is, I would, I hate this. um um and I did it during this rehearsal where they decided to fill it with something. I don't
Oh.
remember what they used, but it it fell and made like such a gross like 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 noise on the ground, and then it like looked so awful that like our stage manager and our assistant director, who were both women, our director was a guy, they both like stopped the rehearsal and were like, no, no, this cannot happen.
What was it filled with?
I don't know, it was some like some uh
Pudding.
Vanilla
yeah,
pudding. What
like a
about that?
milky, like, yeah, probably like a milky pudding.
Ugh.
Which is like that's also, I was also making the joke like, guys, medically this is worrisome, like this is not a good consistency for this stuff.
No.
um but yeah,
Did
and then the worst moment of that was the night I really didn't think about it until the night that I had to do that part. And it was probably one of my bigger roles in college, and my parents came to the show.
Oh.
And so I
no.
had to turn and spit this condom out of my mouth in front of my poor mother. It was amazing.
I'm so sorry to Mrs. Armstrong.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, Remy. You put up with a lot. There's a lot of bullshit in having raised me, but that may have been the epitome of it. Seeing your son do that. It's great. Dog opera, if anybody's interested. Dog opera. It's a pretty good
Dog
play.
opera.
That sounds
rings a
great.
bell.
I think that adds a should have known we were queer count for you.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Probably. Not queer for condoms though. Don't
No,
love
no,
them.
no.
Don't love them in
Don't-
my mouth.
Don't love condoms.
I'm an advocate for safe sex. Always be safe. But
Yeah. Could they
I
at
wish
least
there
have
was a
gotten
way
you a
to
flavored one? just
I
thinking.
think a couple nights we did have a flavored one. Honestly, it was whatever was available at the health center on campus. So it's not like we didn't have a condom budget.
Of course.
Fair.
So it was whatever was in that bowl at the reception desk. Just reach in. And I think there were a couple flavored ones in there.
Should really have
Oh,
gotten you
amazing. So for our historians, we have Tessa's hair / being a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. We have David spitting a condom out of his mouth, and we have my midnight purple truck.
Oh yes, yeah. For those of you keeping score at
People
home,
are definitely keeping score.
Someone update the wiki. Fascinating.
yeah. I didn't really think about that. I didn't really think about that as a queer moment, but it is pretty queer. I mean, it is a very gay show. It's about a lot of guys having sex. So
As it should be.
yeah. I also had to another one. I feel like I'm talking a lot.
No more than
Okay.
normal.
You're talking just the right amount.
I was gonna say I had to another like thing that makes me like be like, oh, if we'd had an intimacy coordinator, this wouldn't have flown. But I had to, in another show, I had to make out with this my co-star, the cup there was like 3 couples in the show, and opposite me was this girl, and she had to be like the forceful, like assertive one in the relationship. So she like kept wanting to like uh uh kiss my character, make out with him, have sex with him, and he just wanted to read a book. So he's just like trying to read a book the whole time. And and I had to she just went for it at rehearsal one day. Like the script is basically like you have to like grab him and kiss him, and we're gonna like it was a farce, so it's like we're gonna do some business of like falling on the floor and like all this. And she just went for it, and I was like, have you ever kissed someone before? Because that's not how you initiate making out with me. Making out with someone.
What did
she was
she
like,
do?
It was such an uncomfortable sound.
Yeah, because I don't know how to just like it. Just it was more like she was trying. She had gone to consume me rather than kiss me. Yeah, very
Gotcha.
like just disengaged jaw, like approaching me. Yeah, unhinged. Yeah.
Cool,
Attractive.
cool.
Very cool, very attractive. Yeah, I couldn't have been more turned on. Oh my god.
Nowadays that's basically sexual assault. Like,
yeah,
truly.
yeah, truly. But I had to be like, okay, I'm going to kiss you now. please try and replicate this. And then I had to like do that so that we could get through this. We could get through this show. So that was that.
The early 2000s were a rough time, y'all.
Yeah.
They really were. In the late 2000s too, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't do. I feel like there was like 1 year in college where I played a lot of romantic-y parts, and there was a lot of kissing, and it was a lot of messed up stuff. Not messed up, but like, it would be like we'd just get to that rehearsal where it was like, okay, we're gonna have to do the kiss, and you're gonna just have to do it and live with it. Oh, sorry. One dude who like decided a funny prank would be to stick his tongue down my throat.
No.
Gross.
Nope, absolutely not.
I think he sells used cars now, so he's karma came back.
So that's about right.
That is about right.
That's about right.
It checks out.
The sticking your tongue down someone's throat as a prank to used car salesman pipeline, very, very distinct. Very clear.
Yeah, it's that Venn diagram's a circle.
It's just a circle.
Yes, it's just a circle.
It's just a Venn.
Even though I like when I was in undergrad, wow, great story, good speaking, master's degree. When I was in undergrad and I was doing acting classes, they cast me a lot as like the leading man who was a shitty person. So like they cast me a lot as, so like I would have to kiss people, but it would never be consensual, and it was just it was the worst.
Yeah,
like I mean character wise, and it was just I was like, this is who you see me as. You see me as Biff?
That is kind of crazy.
Fuck off.
Yeah, that is tough.
Yeah.
I almost quit, and then I didn't.
Oh, yeah. Thank God you didn't.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't quit.
We need you.
It was just thanks. But it was something I'd never experienced before, because that is the opposite of who I am and who I try to be. And so like, I don't know if they were doing it on purpose to try and break me, because that was still the break you down completely and remold you in their image era. Sure. We were the last, y'all, and I'm so grateful for that.
Oh my gosh. The amount of acting classes I've cried in because I was being quote unquote broken down to build me back up.
Yeah. Yeah. The most generous reading I can give to that situation though, Cameron, is that I'm relieved that a part that is a monster would go to someone who is very kind and is aware that they would not do that, as opposed to an actual monster.
That's fair.
Yeah, because,
like I would love to believe, I'm sure this is not the case, but I would love to believe that they're like, we have to make sure that the person cast in this role is not gonna like go on some power trip. Like they will be respectful in this role, but are good actors to pull this off, but will not be creepy and weird.
That's a lovely reading. I'm making that my headcanon.
So lovely, right?
Well, you are lovely.
You are lovely, but I mean, like, well, I would love that to be the true thing.
It most definitely is not, but I'm sure I love that. It's my headcanon now. Yes, so I never thought I'd have headcanon about my own life, but here we are.
But here we are. That's therapy.
2022. That's therapy.
Therapy is nothing but getting you to accept your headcanons that you deny yourself.
I mean, that's true.
Deprive yourself of.
That's a hot take. I think that might be a serious t-shirt.
Oh, yeah. Therapy is your headcanon.
Therapy is your headcanon. Therapy is embracing your headcanon.
Ooh, therapy is accepting your headcanon.
Yeah.
Get on it, listeners.
I need to get back in there.
We all do. I need to find a new one. Fuck.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Oh, such freaking...
I did write, oh my god, this might get a little dark.
Yay.
Oh boy. I started writing this. I may go back to the I also hate this because I hate the thing of like, I'm thinking of writing this piece. I hate like, I just like, I would just like to have it done so I can be like, here, read this. This is what this is about. But I started writing this thing years ago in a more depressed era. So that's probably what it was largely about. But if I had this idea that like and this is based on an actual conversation I had with my therapist where I was like, I sometimes to cope with things imagine my life as like a TV show, and like I'm in the writer's room, and occasionally like even if it's like a shitty thing or whatever, I get to like just be like, it's a good episode. This is like people are gonna
Mm.
love this episode. And like you have this idea of like a fandom watching your show and being, and like all of the typical things. So like you have like a bad episode and it's like, oh, it sucked that he went through that, but like it's so cool. Like like when this happened in like season 16, like, oh, it's so, there's something
Mm.
oddly like comforting about that. And maybe that's
Mhm.
me
Yeah.
having been raised on TV, like that finds comfort in that, that detaches a little bit. And I had this idea where I was like, um, he turns like, I think it was like he turns like 26, I think. 20, no, I was younger. I was younger than that. And he decided he was gonna kill himself. He was like, can't can't do this. And he gets a fan letter from
Oh.
somebody watching the show and is like, please don't kill yourself. We met I met my husband at one of the fan cons of your show.
Oh.
And like all this stuff.
Oh.
And I was like, I think it was just when I'd moved to New York, actually. I think that's when I started writing that. So
That's
That's
what a
amazing.
lovely idea.
It's so funny because you're not alone because it's at this wedding, um the
mhm.
brides the maid of honor gave a beautiful speech, but she mentioned that like again she's been friends with the bride for since like high school, but
Uh-huh.
she said that at one point the bride turned to her and was like, hey, congratulations on making it so long on the show, on my show. And she was like, I'm sorry, what? And she was like, you've been in so many seasons of my
So many
show,
seasons. Yeah.
and I'm just you're a you know you're a regular. Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes,
so
I
she
love
had the
that.
theory that her life was like a show.
I love that.
And there were so many crazy characters and
hmm
yeah.
And there's like regulars that like are on the show for a while and then like leave, and like
Yeah.
the fandom's like, whatever happened to that character? I love that character.
Yeah.
And then they make surprise visits. They come back randomly.
I love it.
Oh, speaking of surprise visits, sorry, I don't know if we'll need to cut this out, but um uh uh Michael Raymond is making a surprise New York City visit.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
When
Little
is this?
rascal.
Little rascal? When's he making an appearance?
I think this weekend.
Mhm.
Wow. I have forgotten. When did they leave? When did they leave New York?
He left soon after we did.
I was gonna say it wasn't that long behind Ian's.
No, it was like 6 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was a rough year for those of us who love people.
Stayed.
That feels like a longer time ago than. Oh my god. I can't keep time straight.
I mean, can anyone?
No.
This year has been absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Just fundamentally. Back
Mm.
to dark things we have written recently. This is going to be incredibly boring and far too much information, but basically I just wrote the betrayal scene in the antecedent event, which is
Ooh.
led up to it, and it's actually kind of cathartic to finish.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I realized the problem that I'd had with this show is I was trying to start from the beginning, and I had to start at the end where all of the fucked up shit has happened, and I had to figure out what the fucked up shit was going to be in order to actually do Act 1 justice. So we're getting there.
There you go.
Dang.
Almost everyone's dead.
That's what happens.
The way it should be.
Oh.
Well, yeah, especially on birth control.
I mean, that's how we end up. That's it's the
That's
only
true.
thing. Except
Um,
I do hear that I just talked about this on Sunday. We were we there's like enough scientific research that we might uh they might have figured out how to halt the aging process.
Oh.
And so
Dang.
potentially yeah, it's incredible. That's great. That's incredible. But then potentially the first generation that could be immortal, like could like, or at least like live way longer, would be millennials. And I just think it's so funny because it's like all we want to do as a generation is to be relieved of this burden.
And they're just gonna keep us alive.
And now they are gonna keep us alive forever.
The most depressed people on the planet.
They screwed us out of everything, and then they're like, "Oh, by the way, also you have to live forever."
Yeah.
I saw speaking of that, I saw an incredible Reddit post about how the it showed like comedy progressions, like generational comedy progressions, and it showed an example of like boomers, Xers, millennials, zennials. And it was like, of course, Gen Z has progressed from nihilism to Dadaism. Just, as far as comedy goes. And I was like, oh my God.
Yes,
it's so accurate.
Of course they have.
Of course. That's absolutely what happened
when you
at the turn of the century.
When you get
other century.
When you get dropped into a reality that is so absurd, it's like, they're like, I kind of watched a generation of comedy end because they were like, I can't make jokes about any of this anymore. That's funnier and more absurd than any premise of a joke I could ever write.
Yeah.
So irony died because it's like, oh, it's no longer ironic, like it's really happening.
Right. I know. So, sometimes like the onion articles are just like coming true.
Yeah.
So how can that be funny?
Yeah, it's not. It's not funny in the way that it used to be. Like, oh, like wouldn't that be insane if that happened?
Now it's like
that's
happening.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry to say I'm flagging a little bit. But I know we have some would you rathers.
Oh yes, we do.
I don't know if you want to save those for
I mean, I'm easy.
Mini-sode?
Like Sunday morning.
Easy morning, Sunday falling. Nope, that's not it. That's not it.
Somebody's gonna definitely do like a TikTok remake that's like Sunday morning, rain is falling. It's like gonna be like a chance for people to post the photos of themselves like just sitting.
Yeah. There needs to be one of those piano ladies who sings that in cursive. Where like the Sunday morning. There used to be a guy on Vine that did that really well. Like
really?
Yeah. Like I just went to the grocery store. I got some avocados and bananas. So good.
Oh, that's exceptional content. Thoughts?
Questions, comments, concerns?
Thoughts and pairs?
None? Moving on.
Welcome to the Omni Bilateral Panic Holiday. Would you rather?
Would you rather?
Would you rather?
Rear Tessa, yours is really good.
Would you rather be Santa for a day or the Grinch for a day?
Oh,
Oh, which day?
That's a really good question. I'm
Halloween.
This is Halloween. I'm assuming. Let's do Christmas Eve.
I'd say the
Oh.
Grinch.
Christmas Eve, definitely the Grinch.
I mean, I think the Grinch too. Like, the problem with the Grinch was not him; it was his asshole neighbors.
You end with a celebration. You don't have to do any of the work. Like you don't have to fly
Right.
around
You
and
get
do
to be,
anything that
like,
Santa did.
Naughty
Yeah,
and still win.
yeah.
Yes.
And you get to sneak in everybody's houses and see their cool Christmas decorations.
Well, and like justified naughty, like, because they were seriously awful to him.
Yeah.
Would you rather work on Christmas Day or New Year's Day? Your current job, whatever it may be.
Oh, our current job, would we rather work our current job on New Year's Day or Christmas Day?
Christmas Day.
New Year's Day.
I think I'm New Year's.
I gotta be with my family.
But like New Year's, I'm definitely up at least until midnight. And I've definitely been up like all night before that. So I just feel like I would want to sleep on New Year's Day.
Yeah, that's fair.
Makes sense. That makes sense. I feel
I
like
understand.
I've worked or traveled or done a lot of weird stuff on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
But on Christmas Day, I want to be with my family. And
That's true.
if I'm working one of my jobs, which has to be in person, then I couldn't do that if I worked
Right.
on Christmas Day.
And then be
That's
shitty.
true.
That would stink.
You really would. Would you rather go on a sleigh ride or go ice skating?
Sleigh ride?
Sleigh ride.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know how to skate really.
I'm not good at it.
Oh, one time when I was the polar bear for the Pittsburgh Zoo, the polar bear mascot.
Yes. you weren't standing in for a real polar bear, fooling everyone.
We went to the opening of an ice rink, and it was like a bunch of mascots. Like literally the mascot for the Pirates was there, the
Nice.
mascots for the Penguins. Like every major team had a mascot there, plus then all the like mascots of the city. But they were like, if you can skate, we'll give you a set of skates to wear. You don't have to like rent them or anything. We'll just like hook you up. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna stick with my big feet because I can't really skate. But we were out there, and like obviously I'm a polar bear. They should have sent somebody who knew how to skate. Because it's a polar bear, but I'm like hugging the side, like shuffling along. Everybody's like, what the fuck?
I would rather go ice skating because I'm great at it. And sleigh rides are fun, but
Of
like,
course you are. You totally have the vibe of someone who knows how to skate real ass well.
thank you. I appreciate that. But also I've been on sleigh rides and they're fun and like lovely, but also they're usually 2 hours long. And
Oh, I've never been on one. So 2 hours of sitting on a hard wooden seat, cold in the cold air. I don't want to do anything. I want to stay in my house, I guess.
Don't you get like a hot chocolate?
Usually, yes.
Okay.
Next,
I'm back in.
Would you rather, as far as snow related activities, make a snow angel or have a snowball fight?
Snowball fight.
Snow angel. I just want softness.
I think at this point in my life, I'm snow angel, but I do love a snowball fight.
What if there's a rock in there? I just feel like I don't trust that many people.
Well, when you come out here, we will have a safe snowball fight.
What happens after a snow angel?
You get up and then you usually take a selfie with it, obviously.
Okay.
You're chilly. You're damp and chilly.
Pretty much, yeah.
You go inside and have hot chocolate.
Okay, that makes sense.
Would you rather have your ears turn into elf ears forever or a Santa beard forever?
Elf ears.
Elf
forever,
ears.
for sure. Yeah. I mean, look at my hair and my face. It would fit.
I think I'm elf ears too, honestly, even though I have a beard.
Yeah. If it was a more reasonable beard than a Santa beard,
Yeah,
maybe
Santa
I'd
beard.
go that.
Like if Santa had a decent, a decent cut, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But it usually doesn't.
If I could make money off being a bearded lady, but I feel like people just do not pay you anymore for
They
that.
don't want you. They don't like being called freaks. You know, it's PC culture. PC culture killed.
PC culture means I can't make money off
Yeah.
my beard.
You can't be a bearded lady.
Dang it.
PT Barnum would hate this woke culture we've grown into.
PT Barnum would be like, I can't make money off anyone anymore.
Yeah. How am I supposed to make money off my midget? And they'd be like, PT, you can't say that anymore. And they'd be like, I can do what I want. I'm dead.
I mean, that's fair. I thought you didn't believe in ghosts. How is he talking?
I know. Do you know what's so funny? On Thanksgiving, with Friendsgiving, I was sitting in a chair next to an open bedroom, and one of our friends I didn't know had walked into that bedroom and was like lying down, like resting on the bed, came back out and like grabbed my shoulders. And was like, it was like a very friendly grab massage, very sweet. And I was like, oh my God, but everybody saw like the unbridled fear on my face of like, oh, for a moment. And when we were laughing, and I was like, you know what the worst part about that is that my first thought was it's a ghost. And and then I was like, that's absurd. Like that, can you imagine the fear that I must have experienced? Because I don't even believe in ghosts. So to have defaulted to that is insane.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Two more. Would you rather spend Christmas alone or spend Christmas with a stranger?
Oh, that's like a meet cute. Christmas with a stranger, baby. Kissing.
I mean, the stranger is up to you and your imagination.
I have spent Christmas alone comfortably, so I'm okay with that.
Oh, King Introvert.
Yeah, King Introvert here. A stranger is such a gamble. I have no guarantee. I just have no guarantee that I'm going to be okay, that it's going to be cool.
I'm also with a stranger. I would rather spend Christmas with strangers.
I love that for you guys.
I just feel like, like, I don't know. Well, last Christmas I thought I wasn't going to be
really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, last Christmas you went.
Last Christmas I thought there was a chance I had COVID and I wouldn't be able to go home. And then in one of the date, like I pushed off the date so that I could like test a lot, and so that my roommate who'd already left could test, and I could ensure that she didn't have COVID, that she'd been walking around coughing in the flat just from life.
Yeah.
Anyway, it did later turn out that she did have COVID, but I never got it. So anyway.
Nice.
The point was I watched Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, alone by myself on one of the days that I was like, I think I'm not gonna be able to go home because what if she's got COVID? I didn't have any symptoms or anything. But anyway, I was just like weeping and I was like, I can't be alone on Christmas. It's the saddest thing that's ever happened to me. Which obviously means I've had such a great life. Like, come on. That's barely sad at all.
That's it's wonderful. And I also like there's nothing wrong with that, of like, I'm not wanting to be alone on Christmas. I get that. I just have done it and I've been okay with it. So
didn't one of our friends, I don't remember which one, but didn't one of our friends like spend Christmas with a stranger and have the best time? Like it was a meetup for people who thought they were going to be alone, and so they
I don't know.
Who was that?
I spent Thanksgiving with a lady I barely knew, but that was
it was Thanksgiving and it was you.
Where we had a Thanksgiving that was all white food. Like we had like a few slices of turkey, some mashed potatoes, and then like cauliflower.
Just a cauliflower, like not done in
raw.
any way.
Well, maybe
just a raw.
Maybe it wasn't you. Maybe it was. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe probably it's somebody else. But because I knew that lady a little bit in that I knew her name.
Yeah, no, this was
cool.
A service. This was like, it was a New York Times thing, and they actually did it.
Oh, that's cool as heck.
Just ask each of our friends.
Did you do the Christmas alone? Who was that? Did you spend Christmas alone?
Each of our just ask each of our friends one at a time.
One
Have
at
they
a time.
ever spent Christmas alone?
And finally, last and certainly not least, eggnog or hot cocoa?
Damn, that's hard.
It is hard.
Hot cocoa.
Eggnog, baby. With booze in it, please.
Of course. Booze in both. That goes without saying.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Booze in both.
I think I'm honestly eggnog, but I would be sad
It's
about
so
it.
creamy.
It's so delicious.
You'd be sad about eggnog?
No, I'd be sad about not having
Not getting hot
cocoa.
chocolate. Both.
Oh,
I
okay.
like both.
Yeah.
Double
If I
fist.
had my way, I would
always
combine
both.
the two.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Have you ever done that?
Yeah.
It's so good.
No, I've never
I've
done
not.
that.
I don't love eggnog, so
All right.
I'm okay with that.
It's easy for you to choose hot chocolate. then.
Okay. You know what? I didn't judge you guys about your stupid answer. I remained totally neutral.
No, I mean, you should seriously try it. I don't know.
Combining it?
Yeah, combining.
Okay.
I'm open to that.
I was initially going to be like, that wouldn't work, but I guess it's just chocolate and eggs. You do that for brownies.
Well, and it just
What
adds
else
a little bit of spice and creaminess, basically.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
else
it's
is
like-
in eggnog? I don't know eggnog.
It's pretty much eggs,
Cream.
cream and spices.
Okay.
Oh, I had an idea for our live show.
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay. So my sisters and my mom and I watched we don't have to do this many, but we watched 3 of like the Hallmarky Christmas movies. We
Uh-huh.
started off with one called A Royal Corgi Christmas, which was
Ooh.
Of course. Speechless. Speechless.
Which was just very difficult for us to understand anything about the country that we were in or the land or the timeline.
Because they were all corgis
It
and they
was like
didn't subtitle the movie.
king died and the queen was naming an heir, but the king had died like 12 years ago, but had given a present of a corgi that was like still going strong to somebody. Anyway,
Wild.
it was
Wow.
very, very interesting. Then we watched A Castle for Christmas, obviously the best of the Christmas movies out there. That is romantic. Brooke Shields, we've talked about it before. We probably talked about it last year, those sparkly eyes of hers. And then we watched the Lindsay Lohan one.
Oh,
How
right.
was it?
Hot
My dear
damn,
Court
it was
Ogre
good.
Street.
It was good as hell.
Good.
It was so good. It was
I've had a
very
man crush
good.
on Cord forever. So
you're
I'm so
gonna
glad
love
it's
this
good.
movie. This movie plays everything to his strengths, gives long, loving shots of his face. The
Aw.
camera work in that movie was good. The best of them is honestly A Castle for Christmas because it's like good sound, good writing ish, great camera work, great music. Any movie that's made by Hallmark that's a Christmas one, the sound design is like a soap opera. Like we didn't have time to do any sound design, so you're gonna hear everybody's
There was a lavalier mic kind of placed in the middle of the room, and everybody just prayed to God that it would pick up everything it needed to.
That's accurate.
Somebody moves their head
and like and they don't have a sound editor, like they don't have a sound engineer. They just have like an intern who's like
absolutely
through tears is like trying their best to like scrub out ambient noise on a mono track from this lavalier mic.
Exactly.
I just want to go home.
Absolutely.
That is exactly what it is.
I actually my colleague just told me about Single All the Way, which is a queer holiday movie.
Yeah,
which I haven't
Should
seen
we
yet, but I've
watch
heard
that as our live episode? And we live watch it and comment and laugh
are we gonna do a
together?
watch along?
Maybe a watch along for our live
We
episode.
could.
Oh my god.
We could also watch one of the holiday specials because those are in the public domain ish.
Oh shoot. Shoot.
Oh yeah.
We could watch the incredibly tragic Judy Garland one. We could watch.
I'll watch anything with Jens.
I saw an incredible tweet about the Lindsay Lohan movie that was like,
What?
um, I watched this. Okay, stick with me through the whole tweet. I watched this dumpster fire of a movie with terrible acting, the worst script I've ever heard, unbelievable music choices, unbelievable camera choices, the worst editing, the worst cinematography I've ever seen. I can't understand this dialogue. I don't like this plot, and it's my favorite movie of all time.
Yep, accurate.
10 out of 10 will watch it again.
It's like for sure a step above all the other Hallmark Lifetime.
Well, they always choose one that they're gonna hit hard.
It was
They
this
do
one.
they do a bunch of filler and then they choose one that they're like, this is going to be the standout.
Although Mean Girls co-star what's her face has also got her
Lacey
own
Chabert?
Lacey. Yes, Lacey's
Yeah.
got her own one,
That's right.
and they're pushing it hard because she's personally introducing you to every Hallmark Christmas movie. She's like, "Hi, I'm Lacey, and I have my own movie. Please watch it. In the meantime, here's a different one for you to watch."
She's our generation's masterpiece theater. Like,
Yeah.
I'm John Gielgud, and I'm Lacey Chabert. Welcome to Hallmark.
While you're waiting to watch my movie, take a look at this other movie.
It's fine. You'll have a good time. I have an idea for a fuck, marry, kill that might be incredibly offensive.
Oh, do it.
An Advent candles set, a menorah, and a canara. Fuck, marry,
What?
kill. Go.
Excuse me? What are any of these words you just
So
said?
the Advent is the one. Do Catholics do Advent candles?
Oh, the
Yeah.
Advent calendar. Yeah.
Advent,
No, but not the calendars.
candles.
Oh, Advent candles.
There's
Oh,
four
in
of
the
them
wreath.
because
yeah,
it's
red,
the four.
the red candle. Yeah.
The menorah is, of course, the celebration
Yeah,
of Hanukkah. And then the Canara is the celebration of Kwanzaa.
Kwanzaa.
Oh no.
I know. What
No. No matter what, it's a
I mean,
hate
I
crime.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I feel able to only kill one of them with my conscience free and clear.
Yes, we all are killing.
Of
So I
course.
will
right?
I will kill the Advent candle.
Of course, we're killing the
Yes,
Advent.
we're killing Advent.
Of course, we are.
Because also as we know, Jesus can come back. So
Yeah.
like I'm also not worried about that.
And it's only 4 candles as compared to 7 and 9. So
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a lot of candles. I will fuck the Canara.
Canara.
I'm joining David.
And marry the menorah.
I'm gonna marry the menorah.
I think I'm going to do the
too.
opposite. I'm going to,
Okay.
because the menorah is of my people, I'm going to be exotic and marry the Canara and fuck the menorah.
Nice.
There we go. I feel
I feel like I
feel
know
that
the
we've
menorah a little
represented-
better. More comfortable marrying. But I want to get to know the Canara.
Yeah. And I've always wanted to, my mother always said I'd grow up and marry a nice Jewish girl. So there you go.
You can marry a nice Jewish person.
Yeah, a nice Jewish menorah. My wife.
I hate how much I loved that.
Absolutely terrible. Can I tease one thing? Because I finished what I think is FMK plus. So I just want to read you first of all the LGBT style. I guess it's not an acronym, but just the letters, just the initialisms. And then I'll give you the breakdown. So this is FMK plus. It is FMK HBH 1 LBS DP LDR 7 PBU RTBZ CKSP.
Holy fuck, that's funny.
Yes.
F is fuck, M is marry, K is kill. The traditional, the Holy Trinity, as we say in the Catholic Church. H and BH. Tessa, I will forever credit you with this contribution. It is haunt and be haunted by. Number one is go on one date with no sex. Kissing optional. L is little spoon, B is big spoon. S is sleepover, 6th grade rules. So you order a pizza at the beginning of the night, you do some prank calls, you
play Nintendo 64.
Play Nintendo 64, you braid each other's hair. Pillow fight, you get yelled at by the host parents to go to sleep. DP, of course, we all know what DP is. Do some puzzles. And then LDR is it's a long distance relationship. It's high school senior rules, so it's not like you're like put together adults in an LDR. It's like the LDR that everybody tries to have in high school.
Summer camp LDR.
Yeah, so it's summer camp LDR. 7 is 7 minutes in heaven, obviously.
Oh, of course.
Ooh.
PBU is a very public breakup. RT is a road trip. The minimum distance is at least 1,200 miles or 20 hours, which is San Diego to Seattle. So that's like the absolute minimum road trip. Yeah, so it's like it's at least a couple days if you take a break, you know.
It's my hometown to Chicago.
BZ is bought a zoo. That's another like marry. That's like a long-term commitment because you have to maintain a zoo. Together, you know, you have to maintain a business. CK is co-parent a kid. And then you know, also a kind of a long-term thing. You know, you have to like get along. You have to like schedule things to like be present for this kid. That is awesome. And then of course SP, you always end with a good suicide pact. So once again, FMK, HBH, 1L, BSDP, LDR, 7 PBU, RTBZCKSP. Easy to remember.
Yeah, there's no need to call it FMK plus. We just say all the letters.
Yeah, you just say it's all, FMK plus is simply for marketing. It doesn't like they take the same amount of time to say. Cool. Do an outro. Do an outro for this for the full episode. So we have an outro at least.
Yes. We're so good at this.
Oh my god, so professional.
I've been Cameron Faring, and I just wanted to say that if your holiday involves candles, fuck it.
Well, or marry it, or kill it,
or kill it, or plus it.
Hey-o.
Do a puzzle with a candle. There's a challenge.
That's scary. That's scary. That sounds like the Farookies.
That sounds like Farookies. If we tag them, they're gonna be so fucking stoked.
Oh, I love it. I should.
I've been Tessa Flannery, and this Venn diagram is a circle.
And I've been David Armstrong, and this otter looks suspiciously like a sea lion.
Good. We love you, everybody. Bye.
Bye. Bye, podcast. Bye. Bye. Bye, podcast.